His question that we chose this week is, what are your most and least favorite quotes from the franchise? Matt, we'll start with you.
This is right in my wheelhouse as someone that loves to write things. Well, I got a question. Do you want to give our least first? Each of our leasts?
Let's do least first, and then we'll do most.
So my least favorite from the entire franchise is a line that is repeated 3 times. They fly now? They fly now? They fly now.
Oh, they fly now!
They fly now? They fly now!
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. They've always flown.
It's peak strange writing. And that is a joke that I don't understand how it made it through being written, being performed, being edited without someone going, I don't necessarily think this is a good idea. They fly now. Zach, to you.
My least favorite is McClunky. I don't know why you add it.
Yes, I bet you have. McClunky.
If you don't know, McClunky was added to, I think, the latest special edition. When Greedo dies, George was like, let's have him say McClunky. It was already a great scene. You've already messed with it with making Han's weird head move. Just let him shoot first and let him die. We don't need McClunky.
It's funny, my perspective of all that was Disney Plus went live, and I got on Twitter, and all of Star Wars Twitter was McClunky? McClunky? What is this? McClunky? What is... It's because everybody pulled up Disney Plus, put on Star Wars Episode 4 for the first time on streaming, and we're all reacting to that. And I was like, is everybody having a collective stroke? What is going on? And apparently, they added that for what was going to be the Star Wars Episode 4 3D release. In 2012, they started re-releasing movies in 3D. The only one that came out was Phantom Menace. I remember going to see it at midnight for fun and being annoyed that there were more people at the theater to see The Vow with Channing Tatum than to see Star Wars Episode 1. And I remember talking to people about it, and they were all like, well, it is the Phantom Menace, so... And one last thing about McClunky. There's a absolutely fantastic behind-the-scenes moment from The Mandalorian with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni just basically playing with ideas on the set. It's the scene from the premiere of Mando Season 2 where he's got the Cyclops guy strung up upside down on the street lamp, and he goes to shoot out the street lamp, and then because it gets dark, all the monsters come in, right? Jon Favreau looks at Dave Filoni, and as he's standing there with his gun, kind of looking up at the lamp and trying to figure out how the shot goes, and he goes, hey, if it means curtains, should he say McClunky? And Dave instantly just starts laughing and is like, no. Just no. Please don't do that. It's so funny. If it means you're done, McClunky. I kind of wish that would have happened. I like... The rebel that is George Lucas going, well, he's going to say McClunky. It's funny. He's going to do it.
And what is your favorite Star Wars quote, then?
I've got a cheat. I have 2. Sticking with the Phantom Menace. Qui-Gon Jinn's, your focus determines your reality.
Always remember, your focus determines your reality.
Is an all-time good quote. And then similarly... the beginning of Yoda's speech in Episode 1, fear is the path to the dark side.
Fear is the path to the dark side.
Those 2 quotes not only sum up what George Lucas' Star Wars is about, they sum up Anakin's journey. Yeah. Your focus determines your reality. Anakin is focused on preventing, quote-unquote, bad things from happening. Right? He is afraid of losing people, and because that is purely what drives him, his reality becomes that they are lost. It's the self-fulfilling prophecy that we've seen in a million stories, but that Anakin is obsessed with preventing Padme's death, and ultimately you could argue that he's the one that kills her. Right? Or at least he loses her, because he is so obsessed with not losing her. I love those 2 quotes, and Star Wars being about choosing selflessness and not selfishness, which was always the George Lucas message, it's summed up best in those two moments, and that is still, as silly as it sounds, those two quotes are things that I turn to in my day-to-day life. When you're upset about something and you're just holding on to anger or whatever, your focus determines your reality, man. The problem's going to come, it's going to go, but just what are you focused on right now? You can choose to be upset, or you can choose to try and find a solution and focus on something more positive. And then fear is the path to the dark side. If you're operating out of fear, it's very likely bad things are going to happen. So there's my answers. Zach, what is your most favorite quotes from the franchise?
Well, I had a couple. I mean, it's such an iconic show, so there's lots of them. Focus determines your reality is one of my favorites. Also, we are what they grow beyond. From Yoda.
We are what they grow beyond. That is the true burden of all masters.
In teaching and in passing down things, I think that's such a beautiful quote. But the one that I quote the most in my day-to-day life, I say it all the time, my partner and I say it all the time, is, I lied.
You agreed to stay away!
I lied.
I also, the other one I quote all the time is, you will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Every self-respecting Star Wars fan has said that when they walk into a bar at least once.
Yeah.
You know, I might not say it very loud, depending on how much I do or do not want to annoy my wife, but I absolutely have said it.